Before you can figure out where you're going, you gotta look back at where you've been. There's things that happen that seem like they didn't mean nothing at the time. But then you realize they mean everything.
So word on the street is, it's going to be a breezy winter. Raising Kanan Season 4 will be back soon. In terms of an exact date, they haven't released any details just yet. But considering it's coming this winter, I'm sure there is going to be a longer trailer that's released at some point in the next 2 months, which will give us our exact date, a synopsis for Season 4, exclusive first look images, and a few interview end quotes. But let's waste no more time and let's get straight into this teaser breakdown and have a look at a couple of these scenes, break down what they've given us, what they haven't given us, and generally where we are heading into Raising Kanan Season 4. Now let's start with Kanan's narration. At the beginning of the teaser we hear Kanan saying, "Before you can figure out where you're going, you've got to look back at where you've been," with Kanan holding up a gun towards someone. Kanan then says there are things that happen that seems like they don't mean nothing at the time, and then you realize they mean everything. So, in terms of Kanan's narration, he basically means your current path or future direction basically requires reflection on past experiences. Sometimes to make sense of your current situation or plan for the future, you have to look at what you've been through, the choices that you've made, your actions, the consequences that have shaped who you are, and your current reality. Things may have happened in the past that didn't mean anything at the time. Kanan may have brushed it aside, but in hindsight, whatever happened does hold a deeper meaning. And I think Kanan's going to start to reflect on even the smallest of events that in essence shaped his future decisions, actions, and relationships. So that's my interpretation of Kanan's narration. The article from The People also teased that this new season, the past is going to come back and haunt Kanan and his family. So let's discuss one particular character that is coming back from the past that could potentially haunt the Thomases, Unique. There's going to be a portion of Season 4 that actually explains how Unique survived and helps the audience to understand the journey as well. Because we felt strongly that we didn't just want this to be some sort of bullshit story where he miraculously survives and we never understand how it happened. So that's a quote from Sasha Penn, the showrunner of Raising Kanan. I think early on or at least towards the beginning of Season 4, they are going to give us answers as to how Unique survived. He said it's not going to be any bullshit story, it's going to definitely make sense. So, was he found by a passerby who helped him? Did he wake up and go to someone he could trust? Was it Stefano? Was it his wife? Either way, whoever helped him made sure that they kept it on the low because he was gone for a while. There was no kind of inkling that he went to any kind of regular hospital. So they are going to have to kind of explain who helped him, who nursed him back to full health, if anyone did that is, or did he do it on his own? But what can we expect from Unique in Season 4? We know he's going to be a completely different character. A lot of people still believe he is going to reinvent himself and become Breeze. I personally still don't think so, but let's see. One thing is definitely for sure, he will definitely be different after what he just went through. It's going to be an interesting spin on who this character has been. Historically, he's somebody who's more calculated and smooth with his delivery, and kind of conscious and things like that. But I think this Unique is different. This is Unique like you've never seen him before. So he is going to be different. We have him raiding a spot with 2 guns in this particular scene. There's also someone burning down the Chinese spot where Unique was selling his product from, although you can't tell whether this is Unique or not. But with Unique, I do want to see if he spends a portion of the first part under the radar, just like the older Kanan did in Power Season 3. I want to see if Unique moves like a ghost, because at this moment in time, nobody knows he is alive. Even law enforcement said he was good as dead, and that can actually be used to his advantage. Now it's not actually clear cut from this particular teaser, but I do think this could potentially be Rock coming face to face with Unique for the first time since he disappeared. And it is going to be interesting to see what happens with their relationship. Let's not forget, they were in a bit of a romantic relationship, 2 former enemies turned love interests. But with this Unique, genuinely who knows what we're gonna get. Will Unique think that Rock was in on taking him out, considering she snooped right in to take his spot under Stefano as soon as he was gone? It definitely does look a bit shady, so I wouldn't be surprised if Unique has this mindset, where he can't trust what anybody says, where he's out to get everybody in his way. But Rock and Unique, let's see how their first interaction goes. Now we've also got Rock and Lou standing side by side, with Lou looking a lot better than he did towards the end of Season 3. And I do think this season is going to be a bit of a redemption arc for Lou. We know he's wanted out the game ever since he killed D-Wiz, and that's another point I do think we have to touch on. In terms of what they meant by the past coming to haunt Kanan and his family, could it mean what Lou did to D-Wiz in Season 1? Could we finally see the introduction of D-Wiz's brother, who could come back for revenge? So that's just a thought. But on Lou, I still think he is going to be caught between two worlds, his music world and the drug world. However, I do feel like if his family need him, if Rock really needs him to do something, he's going to be there for them. But it really is good to see Lou looking back to normal, back home, and on business.
Property damage, break-ins, it's all par for the course.
And we're the first line of defense against all that. Sometimes we can even stop those things from happening before they happen.
Which is why it's so important for us to have a good and mutually beneficial relationship with local business owners like yourself.
Now we've also got Rock giving an envelope to two police officers, Officer Buckley and Officer Rowland. They're the same officers that were giving her trouble way back in season 3, when she refused to pay them off for protection of her property. They smashed her windows and made life really difficult for her as she kind of stepped into the real world of business. But it seems like this time around Rock is passing them an envelope. What seems to have kind of changed her mind in terms of giving them what they want, who knows, but we certainly know Rock. She wouldn't be bowing down to their demands for no reason. There has to be a reason. So that's just a backstory on the two officers, Officer Buckley and Officer Rowland. Now with Kanan, we've got him holding a gun towards someone and also kicking a janitor. And I think this is the season where he really turns up, just like Duke. They've been slowly building these characters up for 3 seasons in a very patient manner, which I really have enjoyed. They've showed us the trauma that they've been through, the relationships that they've had and lost, the manipulation, the lies from their parents, and what shaped them into the characters that they are at this moment in time heading into season 4. But season 4 is where I do think the gloves will come off for both. In terms of just Kanan, there's a lot of difficult conversations that need to be had. For example, Rock killing Howard. His relationship with Rock will always be center of the story, even if there were glimpses of him kind of breaking away from her in season 3. Raising Kanan is a very much story that is centered around this particular relationship, and in season 4, I don't think it's going to be any different. Whether they can repair this relationship is going to be very difficult, considering what Rock has done, all the lies she's told, the people that she's had killed and killed herself. But she certainly will try, that's for sure. Now in terms of Kanan, we know what his future holds. Whether it's in the game with his moms, on his own, or with another crew, he's a character who we know from Power lives and dies by the gun. So, I really am excited to see him turning up in season 4. The same goes for Jukebox. We've got Marvin handing her a gun, and I really am intrigued to see as to why. We all know Duke has never really fucked with what the Thomases have been into, but maybe Marvin has realised this is the only way to keep Duke safe. Just like Rock once put a gun in Kanan's hand at the beginning of season 1, Marvin's probably realised this has to be done. I also think she might get her first kill in season 4. We've got her pointing her gun at someone in an apartment, but it is too soon to speculate who and why, so let's see. In terms of Marvin, one of the fan favourites, there isn't much else apart from him handing a piece to Duke, but in general with his character, I'm sure he'll pick up from where he left off, being by Rock's side, being her go-to, being there for Lou if he needs him, being there for Jukebox. We've seen a real massive evolution of Marvin's character throughout 3 seasons, and no doubt, the writers are going to give us even more reasons to warm to Marvin in season 4. So, let's see what they have in store for Marvin in the game, with his relationships, maybe personal relationships too. Let's see what they throw Marvin's way. But that's a breakdown of the teaser for Raising Kanan season 4. They haven't given us much in terms of new scenes, but it definitely does whet our appetite for more, that's for sure. I'm sure the trailer will definitely come around in 2 months, so there's definitely a lot more to dig into when it does. But drop all your early thoughts and predictions down below in the comment section, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.